is that tuning into that inner voice. It's aligning your life around your values. It's really starting to think, actually create your life and actually how you want to be and how you want to show up, and putting some conscious thought behind it. Because and it's not a criticism, but many of us, we just get pulled along in the current of life, and we're taking that step back and thinking, is this actually what I want? Or actually, is there something else? Is there a different way to view this situation, a different perspective within this? And as you mentioned, that confidence thing. So I suppose the biggest change is the fact that by the end, they don't have those feelings of being a fraud or being found out, that they are showing up fully in the careers that they love, that they're great at. And if that gap between knowing that they can do the job and feeling that they can do the job narrowed, and they feel that they can do what they need to do.
Yeah, success for everyone will be different. So what do you think, like, is it they need their partner, or like anyone need to support them in terms of like going through that change, or they just be fine with themselves to make the changes?
I think often it is a very personal thing. So I think it is about empowering the individual to make the changes. I think having a support network can be very helpful, but it's not compulsory within this. So if you've got somebody that can maybe reflect back some of your achievements and is your cheerleader, that can obviously help that reinforcement at times. Equally though, sometimes actually having people doing that, depending on how you're experiencing imposter syndrome, can actually be detrimental. Because if, for example, you are labelled as, a natural genius at something, if you internalise that label, anytime that you feel that you are not living up to that, it can intensify those feelings. So sometimes people giving you praise can actually intensify your feelings. And again, it's not a criticism, it's not a judgment on people. We all say and do things, but it's how that's received by somebody. So in some ways, having somebody that's very supportive, depending on your imposter syndrome triggers, may actually, as I said, intensify those feelings.
Yeah. So like for our audience, what would you like to say to them? Like if anyone's going through the same syndrome, imposter syndrome, how they can start making changes in their life?
So I think a few things. I think the first thing is to remember that you're not alone. Remember the statistic that 70% of us, that's 7 out of 10 people, if this is the first time that you're hearing about it, if you just think about your circle of friends or your family or your colleagues, that means potentially 7 out of 10 of them that maybe you're identifying as feeling at the moment, and you have no idea, because what you see is them being great at what they do. This is that gap between what you do and how you feel. So actually nobody knows you, this is how you're feeling, because you are great at what you do. It is just that feeling. So I think it is remembering that this is quite a shared experience in the first place. I would really encourage people to keep that log of their achievements, having that something to refer back to, something you keep adding to. The actual process of writing it is great in itself. It can feel a bit uncomfortable to begin with, but it also, as I said, is something for you to refer back to, and to start to identify patterns and things for yourself about, actually, I can see that it takes me X amount of time to learn something, or in this particular area I feel more uncomfortable in this area. So it's that self-awareness coming through. And I think the final bit of advice I would give to somebody would be, think about a situation, if you are struggling with these feelings of where you know you wouldn't feel like an imposter, and then back to what we were saying, create that plan. So it's not just about that Pollyanna thinking, as we know, I do think positive mindset's really important. But there may be some genuine gaps in your knowledge or your skills, but often it is mindset. So this is where maybe working with a mentor, a manager, trusted friend, a coach is useful for them to kind of sense check you of, do you really need that qualification, or is it just your mindset shift that you need, for example, on that? But once you've got that plan of, okay, I'm here, I want to get to here, I know I won't feel like an imposter, you either work forward or work back, depending how you create your plans, and put those steps in place. But make them small, make them a stretch so you feel good when you achieve them, but don't make, it's not about going from there to there, it is about what are those small steps in between, and celebrate those successes along the way. Maybe add them into your success journal as you're going, because it builds that confidence, because confidence comes from taking action. And we often have this, I'll do that when I feel confident, but we won't, again, if we use driving a car as the analogy, if we I won't learn to drive until I feel confident driving, none of us would ever do it. We only build that confidence by doing the actions and correcting and going. And it's exactly the same in anything we do in life. We have to take the actions. We have to get uncomfortable and start to find a way of what are those small steps that we're almost comfortable being uncomfortable in, and move forward from there. And I think once you start doing that and you are taking those actions, you push through, and then you will achieve what you want to achieve.
Yeah, that's great advice. Thank you so much for that. So we are running out of our time for this podcast. So if anyone wants to work with you or reach out to you, get some advice from you, how they can reach out? Do you have a website, social media? Where will be the best option?
I do. So I have a website. It's www.lindsayhood.net. I am also on social media, on Facebook and Instagram under the handle @LindsayHood Life Coach.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much, Lindsay, for coming to our show and sharing your knowledge and expertise on the subject we talked about. And I wish you good luck with your life and your career. And thanks for being here.
Thank you ever so much. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thank you. So this is a wrap, guys. Thank you so much for listening to our episode. So till then, I'll see you in the next episode. So stay safe, stay healthy. Talk to you soon. Take care.